brighter now with Los Angeles?
Definitely.
The onboard will go bad. And it did not want to come out of there either. I was trying to get it out and it exploded.
Yeah?
Yeah, glass everywhere. So I figured I better fix that last night. And
Yeah.
that's the problem with drive-ins. You do anything as far as booth work, if you want to adjust your picture on the screen, you got to do it that night.
Yeah.
See, coming back early today wouldn't have done me no good, you know?
Yeah.
I'd have never got a picture.
Guess you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
How long have you been working at it?
Since 1982.
82.
Yeah. Now I was at the Plaza and Patterson drive-ins before I came out here. They was owned by this company also.
Well, is that a drive-in? Is that a drive-in?
Yeah, the Patterson drive-in and the Plaza drive-in.
So you've been in the drive-in?
Yeah, that was back in 1975.
So you've been in the movie?
Yeah.
Movie, I don't know, movie watching industry, is that what you call it?
I don't. It's a whole lot different than indoor in this place. You wouldn't think you was in the same business if you didn't have a movie, you know, that's about the only thing in common.
Oh, you said? You ought to know, what's the difference? I mean, is it the same going to a drive-in and watching a movie as it is going inside, and explain the difference?
It's not really the same. You take out here, it's like the customers have more freedom, you know, they can sit back and smoke. If they want to make comments to the movie about, you know, to each other, they can do that with really not disturbing anybody else. So like I say, it's a whole different feeling going out here. This is more, like I say, it's less structured and all that. It's, you know, just seem to have more freedom, you know, a whole different atmosphere and all that. And here you can, you know, bring your own supper and all that, eat supper while you're watching the movie and all that. And bring your kids, you know, you don't have to worry about babysitters. And if you got a young child, you know, they start crying, basically the only one to disturb is people in your own car. So.
You've been in the drive-in theater business for quite some time now. Thinking back, what are some of the strangest things that have happened?
Strangest thing, assistant manager at the Patterson drive-in a few years ago told me that they caught a guy sneaking in, coming out of a trunk. So they started walking over there to catch the guy. They said the guy seen them and started off running. They said when he took off running, they didn't even bother chasing him because he was running for the back of the field and there was a creek back there. So they just figured they'd wait, and all of a sudden they heard a splash. The guy came walking back. So it's one of the strangest things I heard.
When you look at what has happened over the years, what was it like when you first got into business? How many cars would come in here, and what type of atmosphere would you see on a good night?
Okay, going back and well, the first year I worked was 1978 at the Plaza. I guess we did draw a few more people then, but I think the main reason for that is cable wasn't big in the area at the time. So, you know, since it came to area, we seem to go down a little bit, not a whole lot though.
What do you think has been the demise of the drive-in theaters? They're closing down all across the country.
Well, it's like this one. This year here has been my best year since I've been here. It's up about 50% over last year, and we might even draw as many people this year as we did last. Like I say, the only reason they're closing this one is because the, you know, land just got to be so valuable, you know, and they decided to, you know, sell it, and they got an offer for it.
When you look back, once again, getting to the descriptive way that a drive-in used to look, what would you see a few years back on a good night? How many cars would be in here, and what would be the atmosphere?
Like I say, a few years ago, you might, on a good weekend night, get 300 cars. Now you have nights you can do about the same. Most of the time, normally, a good night on the weekend would be about 200 cars.
What would the atmosphere be like in here? Is it a party-hardy type thing, or are people staying in their cars?
Okay, that varies. Here, that varies from night to night. Okay, Saturday nights you got more or less a family type atmosphere, and Friday nights out here you got more of a party type atmosphere. It seems like you wouldn't even think it's in the same drive-in from Friday to Saturday. And the concession reflects that too. On Friday nights we don't do as much as Saturday night, even though we'll have about the same amount of cars. Like I say, I think Friday night, a lot of them, it really wouldn't matter what movie we was playing. They would just come to meet their friends and all that. It's more or less, we draw mainly teenagers on Friday and then families on Saturday.
This isn't the first drive-in that's closed under your feet.
No.
What kind of sentimental feeling do you have about this, personal feelings?
Well, this is the first one that they closed not from lack of business. You know, the other two, they closed them just because business and went down. Like I said, this is the first one they had to close. So that makes me feel better in a way. I miss the drive-ins. And like I said, this is the last one this company operates. So, you know, right now I'll be going to 1 or 2 indoor theaters.
But you said you'd miss them. I mean, is it always going to be like if you had your choice, you'd rather be in a drive-in?
Right. I'd rather be in a drive-in. Like I say, it's basically what I was saying about the, you know, crowd coming in. It just seems like more freedom. You know, indoor theater seems more confining, you know, to the public and also to the people working there.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Said goodbye to an old friend last night. The airport drive-in on Williamsburg Road showed its last film. In the coming months, it's going to be torn down, the victim of progress. And Brian Ellis has this story of an era that may be quietly coming to an end.
Hey, I see you made it on the last night.
The movie didn't start until 9. The cars were lining up at 8, anxious to be a part of the final chapter.
That's why we're here for the last night. We've come out before, you know, kind of hate to see it go.
Sue Springston has handed out thousands of tickets, but has rarely seen a movie here. She will miss not only the drive-in, but the people that bring it to life.
Every customer we have here, they're not just customers. They've become friends over the years we've been here. And most of them know me by name. I know most of them by name. It's sad, very sad.
They say it's the small things you miss the most. The smell of buttered popcorn and kids screaming for ice cream. Soon they will be gone, an atmosphere of the past.
At the drive-in, it's more like, you know, you can be yourself at the drive-in. You don't have to worry about kids crying, so forth and so on. You know, you can do whatever you want, more or less.
A lot of memories have been made here over the past 35 years. For those that grew up watching this screen, an old friend is leaving the neighborhood for good.
Is it a sad night?
In a way, there's not many drive-ins left. All of them's closing up. Every time you turn around, another one's closing. Pretty soon, all the thing you can do is go and walk in or see it on television at home.
That may be easier, but it just won't be the same. In Henrico County, Brian Ellis, WTVR News 6.
That's News 90 up at 7.